High pH in swimming pools can result in the following problems. You're going to see, if you have a high pH in a pool, you're going to see that you can have a calcium line where the water mark is, where the water ends up. Then you're going to see dull or cloudy water. It doesn't look too clean. Also, you're going to see that there's an algae growth in your pool. The reason being behind that is because the chlorine isn't functioning because of the high pH. Now, if you go swimming in the pool, you're going to get a burning nose, burning eyes, dry skin, and dry scalp. Now, low pH also has its problems. When you have a low pH in your pool, you're going to see that the pool grouting is going to erode. Also, that pool metals, such as the stairs over there, start to corrode. And then again, with low pH, as in high pH, you're going to see that the chlorine, you're going to have to increase chlorine because of algae, and also burning eyes and burning nose. Okay, what we're going to do now is test the pH of this pool. So what we got here is we got our pH tester, the indicator for pH, chlorine indicator, which we don't need right now, pH minus, which will decrease the pH of the pool, and the alkalinity control, which will increase the pH. So it's a sample of the water. And take the pH indicator, 5 drops of it. See if we can get this today. 1, 5. Turn it, will you? Then we're gonna shake it up. Alright. Now, you can see real closely. It looks like our pH is around 7.6, 7.8, which is, you know, pretty average, a little bit above, but so if we really wanted to, if it was too high, we can add the pH minus just to bring it down a bit so it's a little bit safer for us to swim in.
So that was pretty informative, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually it was pretty informative. Plus, KT was pretty good looking.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's not stop there. Let's do another application. I have another one of my minions, BMO, and he's gonna do pH in blood. So get excited for that. Hello, I'm BMO, and I'm here to talk to you about pH in blood. Now, you may or may not know that your blood has a pH of 7.4. Now you do. But I want to talk about how exercising affects your blood's pH. So, in this hot, humid weather, you probably all want to go outside and run around and get sweaty and get out of the AC, but I have a guest who's going to exercise for us. He's working really hard. He's running out of breath. Getting tired. He's fine. He's fine. The scene. So as you saw in our last scene, our test subject passed out because he ran out of oxygen. And when you exercise or do strenuous activity, your muscles use up the oxygen. And after the oxygen has been used up, your body undergoes a different chemical reaction that produces lactic acid. And when this is going on, the pH in your blood drops, and this is very serious. It's known as acidiosis, and it's very serious because all the chemical reactions, or almost all of them in your body, require a certain pH, like a Gaussian graph. They work well at a certain range of pHs, and if that range changes, they may not work or they may not work well, and that can cause terrible damages and you may die. So you may be thinking, you know, how are we alive? If the pH is always fluctuating, how are we still alive? And the answer is it's not fluctuating because we have buffers in our body that keep the pH stable. A buffer is simply a mixture of a weak acid and its conjugate base, or a weak base and its conjugate acid. And buffers work by neutralizing the added acid or base to control the pH. And some important buffers in our body are the bicarbonate buffer, hemoglobin in the red blood cells, and the phosphate buffer. So if you see these guys on the street, or they live in your neighborhood, go shake their hand and say thank you. Thank you for keeping me alive. Well, I've had a wonderful time today, and I hope you have too. I hope you feel a lot more comfortable with who I am and what I do and what I believe in. But sadly, it's time for me to return back to the book, back to being a term and not a man. So this is where we say goodbye. Farewell, friends. Goodbye, Jeffrey. I've always loved you. If you need me anytime, you can find me in the Book of Knowledge. Just look me up. P.H. I'll be there.
He's gone.
Let's get out of here before he comes back. I'm pretty sure he molests children.